Do you ever wonder why tubeless tires go flat or continuously get soft and you just have to keep filling them up over and over again? Well, the main reason is because tubeless tires, unlike tube tires, have a lot of points of failure. So since there's no bladder inside the tire to contain the air, it's dependent on a contact between the entire bead of the tire and the entire bead of the rim. That has to be airtight for a tubeless tire to seal. The other point that has to be airtight is this right here. This is where the valve stem goes through, and that valve stem has to mate up to that without air leaks around the valve stem, without air leaks around either of the rims and the tire. So as tires age, they can get checked up, and you can have little imperfections here that will let air in and out. That's usually not the case. Usually you'll get rust on the rim, and that mating surface will get rust and imperfections in it, and then air will start to be able to leak through there. And when air starts leaking through there, of course, moisture collects and the rust gets worse. A lot of people will take a bit of roofing tar and put around there to seal that up. And that's really a good method because it creates a surface that's sort of custom fitted. When you put this rim on that, or put the tire on the rim, that smashes into that roofing tar and creates a perfect seal, at least for a while. Now it can, I suppose the tar could deteriorate, although that's not common, but you could still have the same kind of rust issue going on. And this rim was pretty rusty inside, and so I did a good bit of work sanding and wire brushing this surface, and there's still some imperfections there that I hope will not be too much of a problem. But I want to prevent this from rusting again, so instead of just putting tar on there, I'm going to prime it with some metal primer and then coat it with a, I don't know what kind of paint. I'm going to have to choose one of these colors out of here. Well, alright, well maybe even this one will do. But that paint, the paint job, I can't have a bunch of runs in it and everything. It's still got to be a pretty good paint job on there to seal that up. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time getting this surface painted up so that I can put this back together, have it prohibit or prevent the rust from coming back, and hopefully create a nice good smooth surface on there so that the tire will seal up and so that the valve stem will seal up as well. Alright, it's painted up. Not a perfect paint job, but I did it in the black so that I could see imperfections, so I'll know whether I should either repaint it, put some sandable primer on there, or maybe even just go to the tar anyway. But now I have a nice surface where that's not rust anymore, and even that pretty bad pitting has kind of filled in a little bit. There's still a couple, like sometimes you'll get these little gouges in the now I got dirt on it. They get gouges in that surface from tool marks where you're prying tires on and off. That's not too bad, just right there on the edge. But gotta let this dry for a couple days. You can see there's some places where that finish rubbed off a little bit, just from abrasion being applied too soon after the paint was, and I had to transport it soon after I painted it, so that's why that happened. This is the kind of valve stem I like to use. You can use that nut to tighten it down, and that gives you a better seal on the backside, not just around the hole like the ones that push through do, but that gives that whole bearing surface around there a nice snug fit, so that joint is a lot less likely to leak any air. Alright, there it is, all back on. You can see around the rim where that tar kind of squeezed out there when it sealed up to the bead. This other one, this is the one I painted on the inside, and you can kind of see some of that tar has sort of squirted out a long ways. It's kind of a long ways from the edge of that rim. Why is that? Well, when that was inside there, that part of the tire was actually touching in there, and it didn't push out and up until it got fully seated around there. But now we got these on, ready to go. We should be back in business again, and hopefully that tar will make a good enough seal, and that paint will keep it from rusting, and everything will stay tight, airtight, for many, many years to come. Thanks, like and subscribe, you know the drill.